night. Left your key under the light. Faded pictures on the floor. I don't live here anymore. Turned the key and started slow to a place I do not know. Sparks of us are burning down as I drive away from town. Now there are tears in the rearview, blurring the past, washing away what we thought would last. Every mile is a promise to heal, forgetting the hurt that you made me feel. It's a lonely road, but the horizon is clear. I'm leaving the heartache right over here. Tears in the rearview, but I'm moving on. Past the exit where we met. Some things are too hard to forget. Radio is playing low, singing songs we used to know. Heavy chest and trembling hands, trading all our broken sands for a chance to breathe again. Where the highway meets the end. Now there are tears in the rearview, blurring the past, washing away what we thought would last. Every mile is a promise to heal, forgetting the hurt that you made me feel. It's a lonely road, but the horizon is clear. I'm leaving the heartache right over here. Tears in the rearview, but I'm moving on. The rearview mirror shows what's left behind, and the ghosts of you inside my mind. But the windshield shows the open sky, a brand new world to try. I am crying, yes, but I am strong. This is where I finally belong. With these tears in the rearview, blurring the past, I'm letting go of what couldn't last. Every mile is a promise to heal, reclaiming the pieces you tried to steal. It's a sunrise road and the vision is clear. I'm leaving the shadow of every fear. Tears in the rearview, but I'm finally gone. Finally gone, just a speck in the distance, just a memory in the dust. Tears in the rearview, but the road ahead is mine. Dusty shadows on the bedroom wall, hanging on to where we used to fall. Your coffee mug is sitting on the stand, still reaching out to touch an empty hand. I walk through rooms rooms that whisper out your name. The furniture's exactly the same, but something shifted when you walked away. Now everything is just a shade of gray. I'm staring at the silhouette of us against the glass, a perfect outline of a love that didn't last. I can see the shape of how we used to hold on tight before we faded out into the lonely night. But shadows always disappear when mornings start to break, and I will find the strength for every step I have to take. It's just a silhouette of us, and I am letting go. Found your jacket in the closet door. It doesn't smell like your love anymore, just the cold wind blowing through the screen, and all the spaces left in between. The hardest part is looking at the space where I can still trace the contours of your face, a memory frozen in a darker shade, watching the masterpiece we made degrade. Oh, I'm staring at the silhouette of us against the glass, a perfect outline of a love that didn't last. I can see the shape of how we used to hold on tight before we faded out into the lonely night. The shadows always disappear when mornings start to break, and I will find the strength for every step I have to take. It's just a silhouette of us, and I am letting go. You can't have a shadow without a little light. That means what we had was beautiful and bright. It hurt to watch the colors start to fade away, but I won't let the darkness make me stay. I'm stepping out from underneath the ghost we made into the sunlight where the fears evade. As the sun begins to rise, I'm looking at the world through brand new eyes. It's just a silhouette of us, and I am letting go. Just a silhouette fading in the sun, just a shape of what we were. Now the healing has begun, nothing but a silhouette, and I am letting go. Clone the screen inside a darkened room, cursor blinking in the midnight gloom. Folders full of things I'll never say, spilling over since you walked away. I write your name and then I backspace fast, trying to rewrite our broken past. 100 letters hidden in the dark, each one tiny suffocating spark. They're just unsent drafts to you, locked inside my mind. All the heavy secrets that we left behind. Paragraphs of promises, pages full of pain, bleeding through the static like a midnight rain. But every time I press delete, I'm breaking through the chains. I am saving my own heart from what remains. They're just unsent drafts to you, and I am letting go. I miss your laugh, that's on page 23. I hope you're happy now without me. I poured my soul into a glowing square, sending wishes to the empty air, but screaming lyrics to a ghost tonight won't ever make our crooked history right. My thumb is hovering above the key to finally set these heavy memories free. They're just unsent drafts to you, locked inside my mind. All the heavy secrets that we left behind. Paragraphs of promises, pages full of pain, bleeding through the static like a midnight rain. But every time I press delete, I'm breaking through the chains. I am saving my own heart from what remains. They're just unsent drafts to you, and I am letting go. If I hit send, it wouldn't change a thing. It wouldn't stop the winter, wouldn't bring back spring. The closure that I wanted isn't in your reply. It's standing in the silence of my own goodbye. I'm closing out the window, shutting down the screen, stepping out of every space we've ever been. Goodbye to the unsent drafts to you, locked inside my mind. To all the heavy secrets that we left behind. No more paragraphs of promises or pages full of pain. No more crying in the static of a midnight rain. 'Cause every time I press delete, I'm breaking through the chains. I am taking back the power over my own veins. They're just unsent drafts to you, and I am finally free. Empty folder, clear screen. No more ghost in the machine. Unsent drafts to you, just a blank page ahead, and it's beautiful. Suitcases packed by the hotel door, rose petals fading on the hardwood floor. 2 tickets bought for a tropical shore, to celebrate a love that doesn't live anymore. I'm wearing the ring, but the gold feels cold, staring at the future that we won't hold. The champagne is bubbling, the glasses are set in a beautiful room full of bitter regret. We're stranded on a bitter honeymoon, toast to the end, wrecked on the paradise we can't defend. An ocean of tears where the sun used to shine, drinking down the poison of your hand in mine. But the waves gonna wash all this sorrow away. I'm gonna find the strength to survive today. It's a bitter honeymoon, but I'm checking out. White sandy beaches through the window pane, while inside my chest it's a hurricane. We spent so many years trying to build this day, just to watch the foundation watching completely decay. You're sleeping across on your side of the bed, replaying the vows that we shouldn't have said. The itinerary says we should be in love, but the sky overhead is dark as a dove. We're stranded on a bitter honeymoon, toast to the end, wrecked on the paradise we can't defend. An ocean of tears where the sun used to shine, drinking down the poison of your hand and mine. But the waves gonna wash off this sorrow away. I'm gonna find the strength to survive today. It's a bitter honeymoon, but I'm checking out. The hardest part of a beautiful dream is waking up to hear reality scream. But I'm tearing up the tickets, I'm booking the flight back to myself in the middle of the night. The silence can't hold me, this trap cannot stay. I'm taking my heart and I'm walking away. Checking out, leaving the keys, flight back home, feeling the breeze, bitter honeymoon. But the storm is past, I am free at last. Scrolling past the photos that I can't erase, glitching my horizon, staring at your face. A notification that will never end, static on the line where we used to sing. I block your number but the memories feed, though a fiber optic wire making me bleed. We used to stay awake until the battery died. Now it's just a cold screen by my side. It's a digital heartbreak crashing my system down, just a ghost in a pixelated town. Wi-Fi signals carrying all of the pain, where I'm drowning in a cyber rain. But I'm clearing the cache, resetting the code, taking my heart off this crowded road. It's a digital heartbreak, but I'm going offline. 3 little dots appear, then vanish away. You have so much the plug, I am flipping the switch, stepping out of the matrix, healing the glitch. The screen goes dark, but my eyes open wide, tell the beautiful world that is waiting outside. Goodbye to the digital heartbreak, upgrading my mind, leaving the database of memories behind. No more tracking your steps or checking the view, disconnecting my spirit completely from you. Yeah, the firewall's up and the signal is clear. I'm deleting the shadow of every fear. It's a digital heartbreak and I'm finally offline, powering down, fading to black. No looking back, won't follow, done, a new day has begun. Free, little bit. Cold coffee on the counter for one, staring at the kitchen where the damage was done. I used to need your shadow just to know I was there. Now I'm left with the quiet and an extra chair. The hardest part is waking to a silent room where the ghost of your promises used to bloom. But the floorboards hold me even when I shake, and I am counting every single breath I take. And I am learning to stand alone in the storm, finding the fire that will keep me warm. No longer waiting for your hand to hold. We're building a life out of the wreckage and cold. It's a shaky step forward on a broken stone, but day by day I'm learning to stand alone. Took down the mirror hanging by the front door. I don't wanna see who I was anymore. For so long I was blending my colors with yours, forgetting how to open up my own locked doors. It hurts to take the armor off my bruised up chest, to realize that leaving was the ultimate test. But the wind feels different when your face is straight. I am done leaving my future to a broken fate, and I am learning to stand alone in the storm, finding the fire that will keep me warm. No longer waiting for your hand to hold. We're building a life out of the wreckage and cold. It's a shaky last lonely street lane. The silence is heavy where the lightning struck, testing my spirit and testing my luck. I spent so many nights hiding under the sheets, drowning in worries and bitter defeats. But the air is cooling and the pressure drops. The world starts to breathe when the downpour stops. And I'm stepping out after the rainstorm cleared the air, looking at the pieces scattered everywhere. The ground is still soaked and the sky is still gray, but the worst of the damage is washing away. It hurt like hell when the clouds broke through, but I'm finding myself as I'm losing you. Yeah, the mud will dry and the seeds will grow. After the rainstorm is the only way to know. Puddles reflect what is left of the sun, a quiet reminder that the battle is won. I'm packing away the umbrella we shared, remembering back when we actually cared. The storm took the roof, but it left me the floor. I'm not gonna run for the shelter no more. My clothes are all wet, but my vision is sharp, tuning the strings on my broken old heart. And I'm stepping out after the rainstorm cleared the air, looking at the pieces scattered everywhere. The ground is still soaked and the sky is still gray, but the worst of the damage is washing away. It hurt like hell when the clouds broke through, but I'm finding myself as I'm losing you. Yeah, the mud will dry and the seeds will grow. After the rainstorm is the only way to know. You can't have a harvest without any rain. You can't find your power without any pain. The lightning was scary, the thunder was loud, but look at me stepping right out of the cloud. The roof may be gone, but I see the stars shine. The sky overhead is completely mine. Yeah, I'm stepping out after the rainstorm cleared the air, wiping the water right out the hair. The ground is still soaked, but the morning is nigh, and I am too strong to sit down and just cry. It hurt like hell when the clouds broke through, but I'm finally clean of the shadow of you. Yeah, the mud will dry and the flowers will grow. After the rainstorm is the only way to know. Storm has passed, sky is clear. No more fear washed away. Brand new day. After the rainstorm, I am clean. Bricks in the mortar spread on the floor. The wind keeps on kicking at my broken door. I gave you my best, but you wanted it all. Left me to crash like a wave on a wall. I look at my hands and they're covered in dust, paying the price for a misplaced trust. But foundations stay when the ceiling falls down. I'm still rooted deep in this rocky ground. They thought I would break, thought I would fall, but through all the wreckage I'm still standing tall. The storm took the leaves and it shook every bough, but you cannot strip what is beautiful now. It's a long way to climb from the dirt to the sky, but I'm wiping the dust from the edge of my eye. Yeah, the shadows were deep, but I survived it all. Look at me now, I am still standing tall. Scars on my skin tell the story of us. A beautiful palace turned into rust. I spent so much time trying to make you look grand, building our castle on sinking wet sand. But the tide came along and it washed it away, leaving me cold at the end of the day. It's funny how losing the weight of your ghost gives me the power when I need it most. They thought I would break, thought I would fall, but through all the wreckage I'm still standing tall. The storm took the leaves and it shook every bough, but you cannot strip what is beautiful now. It's a long way to climb from the dirt to the sky, but I'm wiping the dust from the edge of my eye. Yeah, the shadows were deep, but I survived it all. Look at me now, I am still standing tall. Bend but don't break, that's the law of the trees. Learning to dance with the heavy cold breeze. You were a lesson, you weren't the end. Look at the pieces beginning to mend. I am the mountain, you were just weather, and I am putting my spirit back together. They thought I would break, thought I would fall, but look at the wreckage, I'm still standing tall. The storm is all gone, every cloud has rolled by, and I'm painting my name on the open blue sky. It was a long way to climb from the dirt to the peak, but I found all the power you thought was too weak. Yeah, the shadows were deep, but I conquered it all. Look at me now, I am still standing tall. Standing tall, roots in the stone, never alone, built out of steel, starting to heal, still standing tall. I'm still here. Trace the outlines of where we used to lake out in the memories are turning to gray. I don't regret the first night that we met, or the beautiful promises I can't forget. You broke my heart into a million shards, playing a game with a stacked deck of cards. But looking back at the love that we made, I wouldn't trade how the colors fade. 'Cause loving you was worth the heartache in the end. Even if I lost my lover and my closest friend, you taught me how to feel, you taught me how to bleed. You gave me the pain that my soul didn't know it would need to grow into the person that I am today. So I'm kissing the ghost of us and walking away. It hurt for the stories we told. The tears on my cheeks are a river of light, washing away the regret of the night. A heart that is broken is a heart that can feel, and that is the magic that makes it all real. Because loving you was worth the heartache in the end. Even if I lost my lover and my closest friend, you taught me how to feel, you taught me how to bleed. You gave me the pain that my soul didn't know it would need to grow into the person that I am today. So I'm kissing the ghost of us and walking away. It hurt like hell, but I knew it all again. Yeah, you were worth the heartache, my beautiful friend. Some people go through life completely safe and dry, never learning how to love, never learning how to cry. But I took the gamble, I jumped from the ledge, and I found my strength right on the sharpest edge. The damage was heavy, the price was so high, but it was worth it just to see the friend. Worth the tears, worth the scars, worth the wishes on those falling stars. No regrets, just a grateful soul. The heartache is over, and I am whole, worth it all. Yellow headlights cutting through the freezing rain, standing on the platform, trying to hide the pain. Ticket in my hand, it's a one-way destination, leaving all our history at this empty station. You didn't run to stop me, didn't try to fight, just let me fade into the neon yellow light. The heavy metal tracks are vibrating below, telling me it's time to pack my bags and go. And I'm boarding the last train home tonight, watching your shadow vanish out of sight. The whistle screaming, the engine starts to moan, carrying a heart that is heavy as a stone. But every click-clack on the iron rail is a brand new chapter in a broken tale. It's a lonely ride into the great unknown, but this last train home is gonna teach me how to grow. Staring out the window at the burnt-out trees, replaying every fight down to the exact degrees. I spent too many years waiting on your track, hoping for a love that never gave me nothing back. The rhythm of the wheels is a steady beating drum, waking up my spirit from the way you kept me numb. With every passing mile the city starts to fade, along with every single bit of promise that we made. And I'm boarding the last train home tonight, watching your shadow vanish out of sight. The whistle is screaming, the engine starts to moan, carrying a heart that is heavy as a stone. But every click-clack on the iron rail is a brand new chapter in a broken tale. It's a lonely ride into the great unknown, but this last train home is gonna teach me how to grow. The tracks might be rusty and the midnight is deep, and I've got a mountain of train only moves in a forward direction, forcing me out of this toxic connection. I'm leaving the baggage of you on the floor. I don't need to carry your ghost on the iron rail is a victory lap in a broken tale. The journey is long to the morning zone, but this last train home is finally taking me home. Taking me home. Click clack on the track. No looking back. The city lights fade. The choice has been made. Last train home. I'm finally free on my way home. I left my key on the kitchen counter ledge. 2 paper cups sitting right on the edge. I loaded up the backseat in the pouring rain, driving away from the shadow of our pain. I checked my lock screen just to see the time, tracing the letters of your name in a line. I know I shouldn't wanna see a notification glow, but it's hard to let the only hand you've ever held go. So text me when you miss me, text me when it hurts, when the silence in the bedroom speaks in empty words. I'm not saying I'll come running back into the dark, or that we can fix this broken, suffocating spark. But if the quiet gets too heavy in the middle of the night, just text me when you miss me and I'll help you find the light. Even if it's just to say the final goodbye. The highway lines are blurring into streaks of white as I try to navigate the cold and lonely night. We spent so many years sleeping side by side. Now I'm swimming in the tears that we both cried. I see a typing bubble dancing in my mind, hoping for the words that we could never find. But if your pride is keeping your fingers completely still, I'll find the strength to cross this agonizing hill. So text me when you miss me, text me when it hurts, when the silence in the bedroom speaks in empty words. I'm not saying I'll come running back into the dark, or that we can fix this broken, suffocating spark. But if the quiet gets too heavy in the middle of the night, just text me when you miss me and I'll help you find the light. Even if it's just to say a final goodbye. Maybe the closure isn't in a text at all. Maybe the healing starts the moment that we fall. I'm putting down the phone, I'm looking at the road, lighting now without the weight of your heavy coat. I am strong enough to handle the silence on the line. I am taking back the pieces of this heart of Don't text me when you miss me, don't text me if it hurts. Let the silence in the bedroom wash away the words. I am stepping out from underneath our fading spark. I am finding my own way right through the dark. The quiet isn't heavy, the horizon is clear. I'm leaving the shadow of every single fear. I saw you walking down on Market Street today. You locked your eyes ahead and turned the other way. No warning sign, no notification clear, just a freezing wall where you used to be near. We spent 10 years sharing everything we knew. Now I'm a stranger standing right in front of you. You didn't just delete me from your glowing screen, you erased the realest places we have ever been. Yeah, I've been unfriended in real life, blocked at the door. I don't get to see your stories anymore. No typing dots to show me that you care, just an empty room and a cold silent stare. But I'm clearing out the cache of our broken past, rebuilding a life that was meant to last. You took away your light, but I am standing strong, unfriended in real life. But this is where I belong. I passed the coffee shop where we would always sit. No, it's a photograph that doesn't seem to fit. I can't double tap the memories we made, or fix the moments where the colors start to fade. It hurts much deeper than a button on a page to watch a living, breathing love enter this stage where we occupy the exact same city grid, but acting visible just like we always did. Yeah, I've been unfriended in real life, blocked at the door. I don't get to see your stories anymore. No typing dots to show me that you care, just an empty room and a cold silent stare. But I'm clearing out the cache of our broken past, rebuilding a life that was meant to last. You took away your light, but I am standing strong, unfriended in real life. But this is where I belong. You can untag yourself from every single place, but you can't remove the smile you put on my face. I am not a profile you can just delete. I'm a human heart beating on the concrete street, and the silence that you gave me is a heavy cost, but it's showing me exactly what you lost. Goodbye, you're being unfriended in real life, blocked at the door. I don't need to see your stories anymore. No more waiting for a sign, you'll look my way. I am logging out of all the games you play. I'm upgrading my soul, I am resetting the view, disconnecting my tomorrow completely from you. Yeah, the connection is broken, but my vision is clear. I'm friended in real life, and I'm finally out of here. No more updates, no more ghost, no more tracking what matters most in the real world. Walking free, unfriended by you, but found by me, finally free. I watched you pack your bags and head out west, leaving the heavy silence locked inside my chest. The screen door clicked, the engine started slow, down the long driveway where the wild grass grows. I ran to the edge of the old dirt lane, blinded by the dust and a sudden wave of pain. Tracing your tail as through the fading light, until you disappeared into the velvet night. And I'm standing right here where the horizon ends, looking at the border where the blue sky bends. I followed your shadow to the edge of the earth, trying to measure what our love was worth. But the road keeps going where I cannot tread, and I'm left with the words that we never said. Yeah, the sun is sinking on everything we knew. Where the horizon ends, I am letting go of you. Your old leather boots left a track in the clay, a permanent reminder of the ultimate goodbye. Today I spent so many miles trying to be a guy, running on empty with my heart cast aside. But a boundary line is a beautiful thing. It stops the winter before it kills the spring. The earth curves away from the mistakes we made, and now I'm watching the ghost of our history fade. And I'm standing right here where the horizon ends, looking at the border where the blue sky bends. I followed your shadow to the edge of the earth, trying to measure what our love was worth. But the road keeps going where I cannot tread, and I'm left with the words that we never said. Yeah, the sun is sinking on everything we knew. Where the horizon ends, I am letting go of you. They say the horizon is just an illusion of the eye, a trick of the light between the earth and the sky. It means there's a world that is waiting out there, beyond the heavy borders of my deepest despair. I'm turning around, putting my back to the dark, walking away from our suffocating spark. Head. The sun is rising on a brand new view. Where the horizon ends, I am born anew. Beyond the edge, the sky opens wide. No more tears left to hide. Where the horizon ends, a new road begins. I am walking away into the day, free. Static screaming from the TV screen, living in the loudest rooms I've ever seen. You were shouting words just to cut me down, trying to bury my spirit in a sea of sound. I used to overanalyze every single slight, staying up to argue in the middle of the night. But the loudest voice in a broken home is the heaviest silence when you're left alone. And I'm rising above the noise tonight, stepping out of the dark and into the light. No longer listening to Your bitter echoes can rumble and roll, but they cannot shatter the peace in my soul. The storm can scream till it loses its voice, but I am rising above the noise. Turn the volume down on your old regrets, clearing out the spaces of our heavy debts. For so long I let your opinions define every little dream and every boundary line, but a quiet mind is a beautiful shield, walking right out of our battlefield. My footsteps are steady on the gravel stone, making music out of being alone. And I'm rising above the noise tonight, stepping out in the dark and into the light. No longer listen to the cruelty you speak, finding the power where you thought I was weak. Your bitter echoes can rumble and roll, but they cannot shatter the peace in my soul. The storm can scream till it loses its voice, but I am rising above the noise. Shout to the sky if it makes you feel grand, but you cannot crush what you don't understand. I am the mountain, you are just the wind. Look at the places where the fractures mend. The higher I climb, the less I can hear. Goodbye to the static of every single fear. Yeah, I'm rising above the noise tonight, soaring right over the chaos and fight. I close my ears to the venom you throw. I'm opening my eyes to the way I can grow. Your bitter echoes rumble and roll, they have absolutely no control over my soul. The storm can scream till it loses its voice. Look at me now, I am rising above the noise, above the noise. The static fades, the peace remains, a quiet sky, a long goodbye. Rising above, and I am free. Locking the door so nobody can hear, holding my breath just to swallow the fear. Building the dam behind swollen blue eyes, trying to masquerade under clear skies. But the weight of your ghost is too heavy to hold, and the armor I wear is just freezing and cold. I'm tired of fighting the sting of the break, tired of hiding how much I still ache. So let the tears fall down like a midsummer rain, washing the dust from the heart of my pain. It's not a defeat, it's a beautiful sign that I'm taking back control of this spirit of mine. Every drop is a river where the old memories die. I am finding my strength, 'cause the cure is in the cry. The water is burning right down in my chest, clearing the wreckage of all your neglect. For so long I thought if I started to weep, I'd drown in the secrets I promised to keep. But the salt in the water is healing the tear, loosening the grip of my ultimate fear. A heart doesn't shatter when the teardrops start, it's just opening up to remodel the part. So let the tears fall down like a midsummer rain, washing the dust from the heart of my pressure is gone, and right through the weeping I'm seeing the dawn. Ghost of you dies, look at me now, 'cause the cure is in the cry, in the cry. Storm is breaking, the morning is waking. Wash clean, no more holding in. The healing begins. The cure is in the cry, and I am free. I didn't smash the plates or scream at the wall when I finally realized you didn't care at all. I just quietly turned the stove burners low and accepted the things that I needed to know. The neighbors didn't hear a single loud sound as my world fell apart on the linoleum ground. I just folded your sweater, put it back in the chest, and took a deep breath to settle my breast. Because these are my quiet triumphs in the dark of the room. The invisible flowers beginning to bloom. No cheering crowds for the battles I win. Just a soft-spoken truce with the state that I'm in. I am making my bed, I am sweeping the floor, learning to live without your ghost at my door. It's a silent survival, a low stepping stone, but these quiet triumphs are making me whole. Woke up at 7 and I didn't reach out to check on the phone what your life is about. I made a warm cup of chicory tea and looked at the yard that belongs just to me. The victory today is a very small thing, just choosing to listen to how the birds sing instead of replaying the words that you said when you walked out the door and left me for dead. Because these are my quiet triumphs in the dark of the room. The invisible flowers beginning to bloom. No cheering crowds for the battles I win. Just a soft-spoken truce with the state that I'm in. I am making my bed, I am sweeping the floor, learning to live without your ghost at my door. It's a silent survival, a low stepping stone, but these quiet triumphs are making me whole. The world only notices explosions and fire, the loudest heartbreaks on a telephone wire. But the realest rebuilding happens inside, where the tears have all dried and the fears have all died. It's the simple decision to put on my shoes and walk out the door with nothing to Yeah, these are my quiet triumphs in history behind. It's a peaceful rebellion, a beautiful throne. Look at me now, winning battles alone. Quiet triumphs, the breathing is slow, the heartbeat is steady, the future is ready. No fanfare at all, just standing up straight after the fall. I am whole. Our picture frames are shattered on the hardwood floor. You slammed your words right through the bedroom door. I'm standing in the kitchen in the middle of the night, waking up to realize we lost the final fight. The safety that we built has turned to jagged shards. No warning signs, no defensive guards. I take a step forward though the edges are sharp, tuning out the melody of our old harp. And I'm walking barefoot on broken glass tonight, leaving the battlefield, stepping into the light. Every single cut is a memory of you, bleeding out the promises that never came true. It's an agonizing path, it's a heavy price to pay, but I am walking through the pain to a better day. Yeah, the bleeding will stop and the wounds will pass. I am surviving this walk on the broken glass. The sharpest piece is where you said you didn't care, left me gasping for a breath of open air. For years I walked on eggshells just to keep you pleased, begging for love while I was on my knees. But there is a strange power in the stinging of the floor. It tells me I can't stay in this house anymore. I'd rather bleed out the truth of our decay than spend another minute hiding what you took away. And I'm walking barefoot on broken glass tonight, leaving the battlefield, stepping into the light. Every single cut is a memory of you, bleeding out the promises that never came true. It's an agonizing path, it's a heavy price to pay, but I am walking through the pain to a better day. Yeah, the bleeding will stop and the wounds will pass. I am surviving this walk on the broken glass. It takes a lot of courage to step on the blade, to face the massive ruins that our history made. But the scars on my soles will make me strong, reminding me forever where I don't belong. I am pushing through the sting, I am crossing the room, leaving all the darkness for a world in bloom. Through the broken glass, through the glass, stepping onto grass. The ground is soft, the weight is off, no more pain. washed by the rain, barefoot and free. I found me. Found a stack of notebook pages in the bottom drawer. Ink is smudging where the tears hit the floor. I'm writing down the history of you and me, like a graveyard keeper of a memory. You didn't die, but I forever did, underneath the weight of all the truths we hid. So I'm dipping my pen in the shadows of the past to say a final blessing for a love that didn't last. And I'm writing handwritten eulogies tonight, putting the ghost of us beautifully to light, reading out the verses of the promises we broke, watching all our castles turn to heavy gray smoke. It's a heartbreaking song, it's a heavy goodbye, but you have to let the old things die to touch the sky. Yeah, the ink is gonna dry, in the morning we'll pass. I'm burying the love we couldn't make last. Rest in peace to the night we fell in love in June. Rest in peace to the wishes whispered to the moon. Now I'm listing every moment that we used to cherish most, saying my goodbyes to every single living ghost. It hurts to turn our chapters into an obituary page, to watch a beautiful connection enter this stage. But a library of sorrow is a heavy thing to keep. I'm lowering the casket so my soul can finally sleep. And I'm writing handwritten eulogies tonight, putting the ghost of us beautifully to light, reading out the verses of the promises we broke, watching all our castles turn to heavy gray smoke. It's a heartbreaking song, it's a heavy goodbye, but you have to let the old things die to touch the sky. Yeah, the ink is gonna dry, in the morning we'll pass. I'm burying the love we couldn't make last. This isn't out of anger and it isn't out of spite, it's just a final ritual to make the darkness light. A love so beautiful deserves a proper grave, instead of drowning in the secrets that we couldn't save. I fold the paper neatly, I lay the pen aside, standing at the altar where our old illusions died. Goodbye, I had to let the ghost go to learn how to fly. Yeah, the ink is completely dry, the morning has passed. I've buried the love we couldn't make last. Rest in peace, the pages are closed, the flowers are laid, the memories fade. Handwritten eulogies, aiming goodbye. I'm finally free. Headlights cutting through the midnight freeze, rustling the leaves on the willow trees. I parked my car by the highway sign, staring at the edge of the county line. A shadow stepped out from the gravel ditch, a pair of tired eyes in the shadows rich. No collar on his neck, no place to go, just another wander in the winter snow. We are just stray dogs on lonely roads tonight, looking for a porch with a welcoming light. Battered by the weather and the stones they throw, running from the only home we used to know. But there is a fierce beauty in a wild, free heart, learning how to survive when the worlds fall apart. Yeah, the pavement is cold, but the spirit is strong. On these lonely roads is where we learn we belong. I held out my hand and he didn't run. Two broken souls waiting on the sun. He kicked me out of your perfect life, left me to freeze in the emotional strife, like an old hound dog that you didn't want around. When the thrill was gone and the silence found, but a stray don't cry when the door is shut. He just turns around and trusts his gut. We are just stray dogs on lonely roads tonight, looking for a porch with a welcoming light. Battered by the weather and the stones they throw, running from the only home we used to know. But there is a fierce beauty in a wild, free heart, learning how to survive when the worlds fall apart. Yeah, the pavement is cold, but the spirit is strong. On these lonely roads is where we learn we belong. They think because we're wandering that we are completely lost, but we're just measuring what freedom really cost. No fences can hold us, no chains can bind the wild open highway that we're gonna find. I opened up the door and he jumped right inside. Two survivors taking on the midnight ride. No more stray dogs on lonely roads tonight. We're driving right into the morning light. Goodbye to the porch and the welcoming light. We are the masters of the velvet night. There is a fierce beauty in a wild, free heart. We mended the pieces that you tore apart. Yeah, the pavement was cold, but the engine is warm. We're running right out of your bitter storm. Lonely roads, pavement flies, open skies, a friend by my side. Nowhere to hide, no longer astray into the day. Candle burning on the nightstand ledge, a blanket hanging right over the edge. I hold my hands up against the wall, making shapes out of nothing at all. We used to laugh till the morning light, playing with shadows in the quiet night. But now the room is freezing and bare, and I am making stories out of empty air. They're just shadow puppets in the dark of the room, an illusion of a love that was never meant to bloom. I'll make the shape of a bird, but it cannot fly, just like the promises that withered and died. I throw the outline of two hands holding tight before the flame goes out in the middle of the night. It's a heartbreaking theater, a hollow design, but I'm blowing out the candle on this heart of mine. hardest part is when the fingers change from a beautiful castle to a mountain range. I look at the wall and I trace your face, a silhouette of what time will erase. For so long I was living in the theater of shade, believing in the monsters that your projection made. But a shadow can't hurt you, it has no weight. It's just a trick of the mind at a real late date. They're just shadow puppets in the dark of the room, an illusion of a love that was never meant to bloom. I make the shape of a bird, but it cannot fly, just like the promises that withered and died. I throw the outline of two hands holding tight before the flame goes out in the middle of the night. It's a heartbreaking theater, a hollow design, but I'm blowing out the candle on this heart of mine. To have a shadow, you must have a flame, but I'm tired of playing this silhouette game. I am turning around, putting my back to the wall, stepping out of the theater once and for all. I don't need a screen to tell me I'm alive. I am opening the window so my soul can survive. Goodbye to the shadow puppets in the dark of the room. Goodbye to the illusions that were sealing my doom. I'm making the shape of a heart that is strong, walking right out of where the ghosts belong. No more chasing outlines or holding on to shade. I am standing in the sunlight that will never fade. The theater is empty, the vision is clear. I am deleting the silhouette of every fear. No more shadows, the light comes in, the walls are bare, the morning air, blowing out the candle, flipping the switch. Shadow puppets fade, a new life is made. I am free. Thunder is rattling the window frame, washing your footsteps from this country lane. I'm standing alone on the front porch floor, watching the storm beat against the door. For years I was blinded by a beautiful light, too terrified to watch our forever die. But the clouds are open and the lightning is bright, cutting right through my darkest night. It takes a heavy rainfall to give me clear vision, washing away every crooked decision. The downpour is fierce and the water is deep, drowning the secrets I promised to keep. But every drop falling from the black sky above is stripping the rust from my definition of love. It's a raging storm, but the path is precision. Heavy rainfall, clear vision. Clear vision. The mud is rising where the roses grew, buried in the shadow of the ghost of you. I used to pray for the weather to clear, hiding under sheets with my ultimate fear. But the rain isn't punishment, the rain is a cure, cleaning the places where we weren't pure. My clothes are soaked through, but my eyes open wide. For the first time I see what you wanted to hide. It takes a heavy rainfall to give me clear vision, washing away every crooked decision. The downpour is fierce and the water dusty old pain. Sometimes you gotta get cleansed by the rain. World I've ever seen. Every drop falling from the open blue sky is teaching my heavy heart how to fly. The storm has passed, I made my decision. Heavy rainfall, clearer vision, clearer vision. The thunder dies, the sun will rise. Washed clean, no more gray, a brand new day. Heavy rainfall, but I see it all. I am free. I stayed awake until the clock struck 4, waiting for the ceiling to crash on the floor. I thought the earth would crack and open wide the second that you stepped your boots outside. But the clock kept ticking on the kitchen wall. The picture frames didn't even tilt to fall. The world didn't stop, the air didn't freeze. It was just me, sitting on my knees. And the sky didn't fall when you left me behind. The stars are still burning, the moon is still kind. I braced for the end of the world in the dark, waiting for the lightning to swallow my spark. But the morning arrived in a blanket of blue, proving my life is much bigger than you. It's a heartbreaking truth, but a beautiful theft. Yeah, sky didn't fall when you left. I walked outside to check the garden bed, expecting the roses to be withered and dead. But the soil was rich and the grass was still green, the quietest sunrise that I've ever seen. For years I believed you were holding up the sky, that I'd instantly suffocate if you said goodbye. But you were just a shadow blocking out the sun, and now the eclipse is finally done. And the sky didn't fall when you left me behind. The stars are still burning, the moon is still kind. I braced for the end of the world in the dark, waiting for the lightning to swallow my spark. But the morning arrived in a blanket of blue, proving my life is much bigger than you. It's a heartbreaking truth, but a beautiful theft. Yeah, the sky didn't fall when you left. It hurts to know I wasn't your entire world, but it's beautiful to see my own wings unfurl. The atmosphere is clear, the gravity is strong. I am exactly where I belong. You were just weather passing through my space. You couldn't tear down this holy place. My own An hour's passed since the front door slammed. The tea in my mug has turned bitter and damp, a thin film of oil floating over the sweet, mirroring the silence on our empty street. I remember the steam that used to rise from the cup, back when we were laughing and warming things up. Now I'm holding the porcelain with both of my hands, staring at the ruins of our kitchen floor plans. And I'm sipping cold tea and warmer regrets, counting up the promises a broken heart forgets. The liquid is freezing, but the memory burns, replaying the fights in the wrong head it turns. It's a bitter taste of a love gone wrong, but it's waking me up, making me strong. The cup may be cold, but the fire is new. I'm swallowing the truth of losing you. Your half of the counter is perfectly clear, no traces of sugar, no ghost standing near. I spent so many mornings trying to brew the perfect life to sweeten the edge of your emotional knife, but you can't fix a flavor that was poison from the start. You can't warm a liquid with a freezing cold heart. The clock on the wall keeps on dragging me ahead, away from the words that we shouldn't have said. And I'm sipping cold tea and warmer regrets, counting up the promises a broken heart forgets. The liquid is freezing, but the memory burns, replaying the fights in the wrong head it turns. It's a bitter taste of a love gone wrong, but it's waking me up, making me strong. The cup may be cold, but the fire is new. I'm swallowing the truth of losing you. They say that regret is a useless old thing, a winter that blocks out the hope of the spring. But the warmth in my chest is an anger or spite. It's the heat of a survivor stepping into the light. I'm dumping the mug right into the sink, washing away what I used to think. Goodbye to cold tea and warmer regrets, to all of the traps that a broken heart sets. The sink is all clear and the memory fades, stepping right out of our dark heavy shades. It was a bitter taste of a love gone wrong, but look at me now, I'm standing up strong. The porcelain is empty, the vision is clear. I am throwing away the shadow of fear. Pour it out, let it go. The breathing slow. A fresh pot is brewing, a new life renewing. Cold tea is gone, welcome the dawn. I am free. I kept the closet locked for 3 whole months, afraid to face the ghost of what we were once. Your old leather jacket hanging on the hook was a chapter's long story that I never read took. But today I turned the brass key in the door, letting the morning light flood across the floor. My hands were shaking as I pulled it off the rack, realizing sky didn't turn to pitch black. Because I am brave enough to let the teardrops fall. Brave enough to admit that I gave you my all. It takes a fearless heart to look at the debris and accept that you are no longer a part of me. The scars on my chest are starting to heal. I am taking back the power of everything I feel. Yeah, the breaking was heavy, the spirit is tough. Look at me now, I'm finally brave enough. I walked down to the pier, we watched the ships go by. Exact same place where you looked me in the eye and told me forever was a guarantee before you sailed away and turned your back on me. I used to think that running was the only way to cope, hiding from the places that used to give me hope. But standing on the edge with the wind against my face, I'm reclaiming the beauty of this holy place. Because I am brave enough to let the teardrops fall. Brave enough to admit that I gave you my all. It takes a fearless heart to look at the debris and accept that you are no longer a part of me. The scars on my chest are starting to heal. I am taking back the power of everything I feel. Yeah, the breaking was heavy, but spirit is tough. Look at me now, I'm finally brave enough. True courage isn't putting up a frozen stone wall or pretending that you never suffered from the fall. It's looking at the wreckage with wide open eyes and choosing to believe that the sun will still rise. I am vulnerable, I am bruised, I am torn, but that is exactly how a brand new life is born. Yeah, I am brave enough to let the teardrops fall. Brave enough to stand up completely straight and tall. I can handle the memory, I can handle the pain. I am dancing right out of your freezing cold rain. The scars on my chest are a beautiful sign that I am the master of this future of mine. The breaking was heavy, but the engine is tough. Look at me now, I'm finally brave enough to say goodbye, to let you go, to let it show. No more harm, no more fear. The vision is clear, I'm brave enough. I thought a heart was like a glass window pane. Once it shatters, it can never be the same again. I spent weeks sweeping up the pieces of us, fearing every sharp edge, staring at the dust. But today I noticed something strange in the mirror. The cracks in my reflection are starting to clear. The jagged edges aren't cutting me deep, they are shifting into secrets I no longer keep. And I'm unbreaking, line by line, taking back the rhythm of this heart of mine, putting the fragments back into place, wiping the shadow of you off my face. It's a slow motion healing, a beautiful art, wire in the chambers of a damaged heart. You thought you left me ruined in the cold, but I'm unbreaking, turning scars into gold. clean start. I used to think that pain was a permanent state, a lifelong sentence to a bitter old fate. But a heart is a muscle, it learns how to mend. It knows that a fracture isn't the end. I am breathing in deep, letting the oxygen flow to the dark little corners where I used to hide low. And I'm breaking line by line, taking back the rhythm of this heart of mine, putting the fragments back into place, wiping the shadow of you off my face. It's a slow motion healing, a beautiful art, while you're in the chambers of a damaged heart. You thought you left me ruined in the cold, but I'm unbreaking, turning scars into gold. It doesn't happen in a single loud flash. It's the quiet after the ultimate crash. It's the choice to believe that the pieces can fit without needing your hands to help handle it. I am the healer, I am the glue, fusing myself back together. Without you, unbreaking, the mending is done, welcoming the sun. No longer a million pieces on the floor. I am whole once more, unbreaking, and I am free. Found a little cardboard box by the kitchen sink with the name of the cafe where we used to drink. 2 silver rings printed on the paper spine. Back when your tomorrow was completely mine, you took the candles and the vintage wood spoke chairs, left me with the shadows and the empty stairs. But you forgot this tiny book of striking strips and the memory of fire on your cold, cruel lips. Now I'm holding these leftover matches in my hand, striking them against the dark you left behind as planned. Watching the sulfur burn a brilliant, angry blue, lighting up the corners that were broken by you. Every little spark is a promise to heal, melting down the winter that you made me feel. They're just leftover matches, but they're starting a fire, burning down the ghost of my old desire. The first match is for the night you walked out the door. The second is for the clothes you left on the floor. I used to sit in the dark just begging you to stay, freezing in the smoke as the colors turned to gray. But there is a fierce beauty in a single sulfur flame. It doesn't care about the past or whisper out your name. It just consumes the wood until the shadow dies, waking up the courage in my own swollen eyes. Now I'm holding these leftover matches in my hand, striking them against the dark you left behind as planned. Watching the sulfur burn a brilliant, angry blue, lighting up the corners that were broken by for the dark. I'm striking the last one, I'm throwing it down. Watching our old illusions turn to ashes on the ground. Leftover matches, but they gave me the heat to stand up straight on my own 2 feet. Leftover matches, the smoke clears away, a brand new day. The ashes are cold, a new story told. No more burning, no more hurting, I am free.